GM, how's everyone going? When are we starting? We're starting now, so everyone's right in time. Uh, uh, welcome. Can I get a GM in the chat, guys? Just to see, you guys can hear all well and good. You guys are excited. You guys are here to participate fully in bootcamp too. Lot of GMs, nice. Hi Fanil, hi Mikey, hi Aryan. Good to see faces from bootcamp one as well. What's GM? GM is anything you want it to be. It's good morning. So that's how you greet people in Web3 in crypto. So good to see all of you here. Thanks a lot for joining. Thanks a lot for taking the time on a Wednesday evening, and we are excited to have you here. So what do we have in store for you today? We have Bootcamp 2. Bootcamp 1 has already taken place. So Bootcamp today 2 will be talk about uh, building building a medium style blog, and we'll talk about specifically the front end. Right. We'll be talking about the front end, and Rohit, who is part of the Arweave India team, will be taking this as a mentor. Rohit is a very active member of Aviv India, as well as developer relations, uh, uh, DevRel in community labs. So yeah, very excited to have him. He's quite an Aviv pro and will lead you to the right questions and to the right answers. For those who are joining for the first time and couldn't attend Bootcamp 1, fret not, we have you guys covered. The recording of Bootcamp 1 can be found in the Discord. So if you're already not in the Discord, I'll suggest you guys hop on there and check out the Bootcamp 1 recording. It's in the announcement channel, so it shouldn't be very difficult to find. But here we are, Bootcamp 2. Now, the main question: why are we attending this boot camps? Why are we learning about AO, about Arweave, about this tech in general? Because very soon all of this will lead to the second version to Hacker House of Arweave India. This is the second time we are doing it. Pretty excited to organize it. We just dropped if you want to know, get a little teaser. We just dropped a teaser on our Twitter at Arweave India. So if you want to know when will the exact details of the hacker house be revealed, or when it will be revealed, where is the location, something on that end, uh, do check out the Twitter, and you will get a nice teaser there to know more about details. But yes, I won't take there's a lot of cool things happening. Hacker house is next month. It's in July. So once the boot camps are done, we will have the challenges, and the best submissions for the challenges will you will win a chance to get an all expense paid trip to the hacker house. So yeah, without further ado, I won't make take more time. Let's get started with bootcamp 2 with Rohit, and I'll just have him take the stage, and yeah, over to you, Rohit.
Hey guys. Hopefully I'm audible. Maybe just give like a thumbs up or something in the chat. Okay, perfect. All right. So welcome to the second workshop in this bootcamp series where we're building a medium-style blog. Like Ashutosh mentioned, in the first series, we created like a backend, a database on AO. Today, we're going to add a front end to it, and then in the third session, Ochacha from the Arweave team will be presenting how to make it like look pretty. So first, I'm going to share with you all, how it's going to look like. Can like people who have been following actively since workshop one, can you all maybe drop like I don't know, some 100 emoji or something, so I just know how many people are looking nice. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen. Um, this is what we're building today. This is the basic front end that we're going to create. It's called Blink Blog. Just a fun name. You can name yours whatever you want. I have this document created here, which you all can use to follow along. It's not very detailed on like what's happening right now. Just a bunch of code that you all can copy and paste while I walk you all through stuff. But I would suggest just like follow along what's happening, the logic part of things, and I will make the same document nicer later on. I pasted the document link in the chat. So yes, this app is what we have here. Basically, what we want to do is if someone's not connected, we just tell them welcome to Blink Blog and we ask them to connect. Now, we're going to set up this modal. It's basically Wallet Kit. So right now I have RConnect set up, which is one of the browsers in Arweave. But this modal is like a modular one, so you can set up some of the other wallets available in Arweave as well, which we see in bit. But yes, so when I connect, yeah, so now see the button has changed. You can see I've connected here. I can go to view posts. So view posts is going to be the page where we view our posts. It's fetching the post from our database. Yeah, there you go. We have some posts populated here. It's a list of all of the posts that have been uploaded to our database. This was a demo app that I was working on earlier. So just to give you all an example of how the post will look, let's pick a random post. So yes, so all of this is created using a WYSIWYG editor. So you can like customize all of the elements. Like you can add headings and things like that without having like much knowledge about HTML. It's going to be really easy for the users. How they're going to be able to do that is on this create page. So first they need to register. If they register, they get this nice looking form where you enter the title. You can make like your headings, whatever. You can put bullet points. You can add links, whatever. Yeah. So it's like a nice editor that we're going to see. It's super easy to implement, and when you post, you get a new post which you can view here. So that's the app, and let's start building it. So the first thing we're going to do is head back to uh, your AO process file. There's one function that we need to add before we dive into the front end, which is basically fetching the list of authors. Authors are people who can create posts, and the reason why we're fetching this is we want to check if the connected user is an author. If they are not an author, they cannot create a post. So in the doc that I've shared earlier, this code is there. You can simply copy paste it. If you're using Better Idea, you can just copy paste it here. If not, you can add the handler with like however you want it. So I'm gonna add the handler here quickly. And this basically will return a list of all of the authors. Now that we have this set up, I'm going to switch screens quickly. And we're going to create a React Meet application. So yes. Yeah, so the reason we're creating like a React Meet application is it's just easier to work with in Arweave. If you want to like upload it to Arweave, because you can upload entire applications to Arweave as well. So later on, if you want to upload the app to Arweave, it's easier when you're working with React Meet. Next.js applications are a little more tricky, but they are better for SEO. So there's pros and cons. But yes. Yeah, so just run this command. We're going to go into the app and we're going to install the dependencies. So guys, if you all have any questions throughout this process, just feel free to drop them in chat, and perhaps Ankush or Prasanna, someone, one of you, please keep a track of them so we can catch up to that later on. But yes, now that we have this set up, we're going to just open this up in a code editor. And I need to see this. Yeah, space. Give me a second, guys. Sorry. Um, okay, give me a second. I'm going to join back from different screen because it's not letting me share my other screen. I don't know what's up. Uh, right.
Hey guys, while Rohit is troubleshooting on just setting it up, in the meantime, yeah, we can give like a 2 minute break and just answer your questions. So not just about the workshop right now, but about Hacker House in general. And once it is done, just give me a nudge, Rohit, and yeah, you can take back from where you left. So no worries there. Okay, good, Pawan. This question, Hackera's location. That's a good question. Not sure how much we can reveal. If you want a hint, uh, okay, it's not Bangalore. We did it in Bangalore last time, so it's not Bangalore. So that's one thing that we can give it away. If you want a hint of where the location could be, check out the teaser in the Hacker House video that we posted today. You will, I think, the teaser should give enough hints to to tell where is the location. Shok, yes, it's Aviv, India, so it is in India. So that's not a uh, okay, just give me a like 100 emoji of how many of you who know how to get into the hacker house, like the process. Just want to make sure like how many of you know and how many of you don't know how to the process of getting into the hacker house. Egypt. Well, if there's an Aviv Egypt one day, we can have it. Okay, I see a lot of no. I see a lot of 100, and a lot of nope as well. So I'll still go ahead and explain how to get into the hacker house, right? Uh, Similar to last time, how this will go is that we'll have three boot camps, right? This is the second one. Uh, Once the third boot camp concludes, based on all the learnings from boot camp 1, 2, and 3, we will have some challenges for you. Okay, so what will the challenges look like? So the challenges will be in two in formats. One would be like a developer challenge, like a dev challenge, and one would be like a design challenge. So dev challenge for all the builders, all the coders, everyone who builds projects on the front end, back end, and design challenge for all the UI UX designers, the designers that that we eventually need. Those challenges will have like small. It will The challenges will last for 1 week, and it will have like basic tasks on, okay, let's make a landing page integrating XYZ feature of Arweave. Take a project from the Arweave ecosystem and implement any of the latest Arweave tech into it. If you're a designer, then take an Arweave project in the ecosystem, go through their landing page, and what suggestions will you give, right, to improve it as a designer. So these will be the challenges that will run for like 1 week. Let me Good question. That would be Sarthi. Will that be Sarthias? Will that be in team or solo? Uh, the challenges would be solo. So all of you will have individual entries and um, you will be submitting it to it. And before Rohit comes back, so once we have those entries, we will select the top. The number is still TBD. We'll select the top 30, 40, and those will be selected for the hacker house. So that's how the process is. We'll go more, deeper into it like later after this boot camp is done. 3 days, but let's go more into it. I think Rohit is back, so let's once this finishes, we'll go into the the co-work area and answer your questions. But yeah, Rohit, welcome back, and let's continue.
Thank you guys. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Yeah. Let me know if you can see this. Actually, I don't know. So someone please, Ashutosh, maybe say yes or something.
Yep, you can see.
All right. I'm assuming y'all can see my screen. Okay. Yes. Um, Hopefully this is better. All right. Okay, guys. So now back to this. We have our app set up here. It's a React Week app. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install Wallet Kit. So Wallet Kit is basically just like a package that lets you like interact with multiple RV wallets from a single interface. The way it is designed, it's intentionally like modular. You have these strategies. So you can see here I have the Arconnect strategy. Just like that, you have your browser wallet strategy, which works with Arweave.app, and then you have Authent strategy, which works with Authent, which is basically Google login for Arweave. You can log in and interact with Arweave using Google. But you can copy these dependencies again from the doc I've shared earlier. Yes, so the first thing we're going to do is head over to main.tsx, and here what we're going to do is we're going to set up Wallet Kit. We're going to wrap the entire application in a provider. So a provider is basically something that lets you access the features of Wallet Kit inside of your application. So I'm going to import this Arweave Wallet Kit, and I'm going to import the Arconnect strategy. Should be it. Let's see. Uh, Now, inside this one, we're going to have this kit, and we need to pass in some configuration. So the configuration basically tells it how it's supposed to work. So in the config, we're going to call for permissions first. Permissions basically on Arweave is what data from your wallet can the different wallets accept, and what can they use on your behalf. So if you are interacting using Arconnect, what permissions can Arconnect use on your behalf? If you're using Authent, it's a similar one. So we're just going to use like 4 permissions, which is access to your addresses, signing a transaction, and dispatching a transaction. Um, then the next part of config is ensure permissions. So basically, it just checks your permissions are already there when you're reconnecting with the app. It's nice when you don't disconnect when you close your application. And then lastly is the strategies. So strategies, we just have one Connect strategy right now. So that's all we'll be using, and I'm just going to wrap this around the application there. Now, once we have this wrapped around, before we see how this looks, there's like a UI component to this as well. We need to like make some other changes. So we're going to install one more thing, which is called React Router DOM. So this React Router DOM basically lets you navigate between the various pages of your application. Um, and okay, now that we have this router DOM installed, we're going to wrap our application in React Router DOM as well. So the way that we do that is we're going to import the create browser. Uh, that's the way, um, router. So it's a create browser router and a router provider. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to initialize a new router. So how I'm going to do that is basically this. I'll walk you through what this is. This router basically creates routes to like go to the various paths that we're going to create. It's fine if there's some red. Maybe we can comment these out for now, and we come here and uncomment these as we keep on adding these pages. The first page we'll add is the home page. This is the default page where everyone goes first. It's the default route. And once we have this set up, we simply want to add this router that we created here. So the way that we do that is just say router provider is equal to uh, okay, yes, so that's all. We don't need the application. We'll be working with different pages, so you can delete app.css and you can delete app.css as well. Um, Now, one thing that I'm just going to quickly update inside of here. So one thing that I forgot to add to the blog post that I have shared earlier is is adding an index.css file. Sorry. So I'm just going to quickly add that here in real time, so you all can access it for whoever's following these talks. Who's live coding with me here. Apologies for that. Maybe it's just a minute since we wrapped the application. Yeah, maybe just right after this step, because this is what we did last. Um, Updating index.css. Um, Nice. So yes, this is the CSS. Just copy it from here. But back to this. We're going to head over to index.css and just delete all of this and paste this new code that we copied here. And then after that, we're going to create a component. So just like to organize things, create like a components folder here, and in your file within that, called header.jsx. What are we going to need in this file? Okay, so this file has some default style, so I'm going to copy this first and paste them here. Again, like these are very basic styles, just because out of the box, these components don't look really nice. So this is basic styling. More advanced styling we'll be seeing in the next workshop. Yes. So the first thing we want to implement here maybe is just uh, uh, a header, because this is the header. So what this header is going to have is it's going to have like an H1, um, which is going to be the heading of our application, and then it's going to have the login button which we saw earlier. So on this, basically to link back to the home page whenever I click on this H1. And the next thing that we're going to install in this is is the connect button. So Arweave Wallet Kit gives a connect button out of the box, and we can add some stuff to it. So you can add a profile modal. So whenever you expand on that button, whenever you're connected, you can see profile modal. We don't want to see the balance, so we can set that as false, and we can show a nice profile picture. So show profile picture should be set to true. That's good. Um, One more thing I'm going to add and keep for later on is, and hopefully the app doesn't break because of this, is I'm just creating some elements, navigation elements. So basically, whenever we create the view and the create pages, we will be able to access them from our header. But yeah, that looks like that's the header component that we have. We'll shortly see how the UI for that looks. But let's create the home page. So I'm going to create a new. Actually, I'm going to create a new folder for pages here, and within that, I'm going to create a new file called home. Now on the home page, we're going to like have pretty straightforward functionalities. So let's create this. We're going to return and then actually, let me copy some default CSS for this as well. All right. Now in this, we're creating like a parent div, and within the parent div, we're gonna have like the welcome heading that we saw in the demo I showed. We'll see that shortly once again, and we'll have the connect button. So I'm just gonna actually copy logic so I can actually walk you all through what's happening instead of. Okay, so what we need here is we're going to call something called use connection, and from that we're going to check in this thing called connected. So use connection is basically a hook that Arweave Wallet Kit provides, and connected is a Boolean value, so it's a true or false value, and that basically just lets you check if someone is connected to the application. Why we're using that is if someone is connected, they can click on the view post button. If they are not connected, then they have to connect first. So then in that case, we show them the connect button once again. And this seems like we have the basic UI here. Let's just import this element into main.tsx, main.jsx, sorry. And we're ready to see how the app looks, at least the first part. What is this? Ah, yes. I didn't miss out on something. Where's our header? Oh, I forgot to add the header component. So just outside this div that we created, this header. And there you can see we have a header here. It has a link block name. It has these buttons to navigate between view and create pages, and it has the functionality to connect with the wallet. So I can just click connect here. We saw this earlier. You can. This is exact like at this stage. You get options for other strategies, but right now we just implemented our connect. You can connect here, enter your password, and yeah, you can see it's connected. So we want to view posts, but first we need functionality to create posts. So I think we're going to work on the create page first. Um, let's just create a new page for create. I'm going to take some of this code from home and just paste it here. And I'm going to just comment in this row as well. It's for okay, so now in the create button, what are we going to do? Yes, okay. So for create, first we need to install a dependency. It's called React Quill. So React Quill is basically a WYSIWYG editor. So WYSIWYG is a short form acronym for what you see is what you get. So basically, the way you see it while typing is the way it will render. React Quill is just really easy to uh, all right. So for that, we need to actually before we head into create, we need to create a new component. Let's call it editor. Okay, we're going to first start by creating some state. So this state is basically where we're going to store our content. What you saw, like track, what you see while we were typing, that's what we're going to create first here. Um, we're also going to create one more state for the title. And yes, so we want to create one more state just as a handler for is posting. So we want to keep a track of if while we're posting we don't want some of the functionality to be active. Now the next thing we're going to call once again is the connected boolean from
Yo, Prasan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Yeah,
hear you.
perfect. Please यार take over नीचे outro कर दियो and just मैंने notes लिख दिए क्या बात बतानी है
ये
ठीक है
हाँ कर लेंगे.
चलो okay thank you see ya bye
so we're basically just going to see if we're connected and yes
कोई
now
take care है ना.
here what we're going to do is also declare the process ID. The process ID is the process of the back end. So you can head back to your ID here. So you can see the process is out here. You can just click on this and it's copied to the clipboard, which is really nice. I have the process ID and okay, looks like I have all of the things set up. Let's see. Okay, yes. So before we like set up the logic for this, let's just set up a quick UI. Um, we're going to create a form. We're going to call this. We're going to give an input for the title. This is, I think we just make it trick here. This is good. And oh, let me import some styles for the editor as well. And now the other component that we want to set up is React quill. So importing it is pretty straightforward. You can just import quill, and you also want to import its corresponding CSS file. So this CSS file is basically how React Quill is able to show you what you're going to be using. These errors are fine. It's basically just errors saying that I have not used these variables yet, so that's fine. But yes, let us add the React Quill component. We're going to give this a theme of snow. We're going to set the value to draft content. This is the concept we created. And we're going to give it an on change prop. So anytime the user types something new, this is what will detect it. And the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a create post button. So this is the create post button. Button basically checks if something is posting, if there is no title or if there is no draft content, it's disabled. And we're going to create post. Okay. Maybe I'm just going to leave this blank for now. Just maybe on click is not going to do anything. Yes, so the reason why I want I'm not setting the function yet is I just want you to get a preview of how the editor looks. So we're going to go back to the create page first. Once again, we're going to import the okay, we have the header here. What are we going to do? Styles. Okay, so I'm going to import some of the default styles first. Same. Heading is going to change to welcome to creator. And now here what we're going to do is we're just going to have a divider here. Okay. Guys, here what we're going to do, start doing actually is we're going to start interacting with AO. Before we get to the editor, what we want to do is we want to first we want to check if the user is an author. An author is someone who can create posts. So we saw that in the database. Here we had the functionality for adding authors. Here, this register functionality. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to give the user a way to do that from the front end. So before we get into the editor, I think like for me the editor is the most fun part. But before we get into that, let's see if the connected user is an author. So quickly let's just fetch this process ID here. And again, you can like create like a global variable or something for this just to make things better. But I'm gonna like I'm just gonna keep it like this. I'm gonna add like this is fetching boolean again, just for state management, so you're not pushing anything. And lastly, I'm gonna create an author list. So author list is where I'm gonna be storing this list of authors. Um, so I'm gonna be fetching the authors list from the database we created, and I'm gonna be storing it in this author list. The last thing we want to import is this hook called use active address, and it gives us the active address. So the active address is basically which user is connected. What we're going to do in the logic is we're going to compare this active address to this list of authors that we get. So if the active address is in this list of authors, then they can create a post. If not, they have to register first. So for registering, this is the code. And again, I missed it in quickly, so I'm just going to paste some of the code. But I'll walk you through every bit of it. We have this function called register author. What we're doing here is we're going to send a message to AO. Okay. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to import. Oh, that reminds me, I need to install this package called PermaWeb AO Connect. So it's npm install PermaWeb /AO Connect. Here you can see this. There you go. Now we want to install this message function. The message function is basically something that lets you send messages. So a bit of like understanding of like what messages are. Every interaction in AO is a message. This allows the system to like have a high throughput. It's good for this post application that we're developing and some of the other things as well. Um, yeah, we can chat about that more. But yes, so what we're doing is we're basically sending a message. Y'all might be familiar if you saw the workshop one where we were adding some tags to the messages. This is basically the same in just a different syntax. What we're doing is we're telling process ID, so we're telling which process to send this message to. We're passing in the tags, so we're telling action is register. So if you remember from this registration process only triggers if the action of the message received is registered. So that's what we're going to do. And the signer. So far, like here in this for your AOS console, if you're familiar with, you'll have been interacting with processes that you'll have spun up locally. But in the browser, you need a browser wallet to interact with it. And you can simply call that with like window.arweave wallet. You should have rconnect or some Arweave wallet installed for this to work. So uh, yeah, uh, we're going to console log this result just to make sure register is working. Now, what this particular step does is it just sends a message. If we want to read the result of the message, so what is happening here is we're sending the register message, and then this parent process, this handler, this database is going to send us a message in return. But we don't get that directly. We need to like find out what that message is. So that's why there's the second step that we have to do, where we fetch that message that we have received, and we're going to print its result. Maybe we're just going to comment this out. What we're going to do is we're going to add a button here that says register. So that's 9 errors. Okay, it's just important. That's fine. Okay, so back to our application here. This try to get confused, and I'm going to quickly rename this to public blog. You can go do that in index.html. Yes, so now if you go to this, oh, use this. Yeah, so now if you go to our create page, this is what you see. You see the register button. I'm going to open the console. These errors are fine. If you see any get errors, that's fine. It's nothing. But yes, I'm going to click register, and yeah, you see it registered successfully. This was the message ID that I got when I sent the register message, and based on that, I was fetching a response from the process. So the process basically sent me a message saying successfully registered. Cool. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add this function. So if you get a message successfully registered, this is basically either if you're registering the first time, this is a check that we're doing. If you're not, it's we'd see what. But we're going to pull the sync all authors. So this sync all authors function is where we're basically pulling the list of authors. and we're going to check if the connected user is an author, so we can give them the functionality to create posts. So let's paste this somewhere here. Okay, so for this sync all authors, so sync all authors is just fetching data, reading data. It's not doing any interaction with the AO process under the hood. So for that, we can use something called dry run. A dry run is good for read-only operations. Once again, what we're going to do is we're going to send this to the process ID. This data field is mandatory, but you have to leave it as an empty string unless it's needed. The tag we're going to tell is author list. So when we send the author list message, it's going to return us with all of that. And all of this is just basic like data filtering. Like it's going to convert the message to JSON, and there's an extra array in there that we're going to clear up. So we get like a filtered result. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do based on this before we try this logic is on this button, we're going to add a handler or like a checker rather. We're basically going to say if the author exists, then give them the option to add the editor. If the author doesn't exist, then let them register. And hopefully such is important. Let's check it. Yes. So here, we refresh. Check. I'm going to register. Is this? Oh, my bad. I forgot to call this sync authors function. I need to run a use effect for it. So basically, like this checker will only work, or this function call will only work if you're registering the first time. Otherwise, you need to like run a use effect statement. So the use effect is basically every time your app refreshes or some change occurs, it checks, if you're in the list of authors. So now, hopefully, it's yeah, refresh this page just to show you all. Yeah, there we go. Nice. So we have this functionality to create posts and my. Maybe I'm just going to add one more thing here. Just to let me know if it's posting something is this checker here. So it's going to check if it's fetching the post or something. So yeah, I know it's happening. Uh, Now I'm going to quickly create a post here just to demo new post. Welcome to the India workshop number 2. And once we create post, I just want to make sure we're logging some of the stuff just to see things. Let's um, it's- oh, my bad. We need to add the create post functionality in the editor. So yes, we're going to do that quickly. I'm just again copy pasting this function and we go through it again. Now, when you're creating a post, we're going to send a message. Um, this message is going to have the action create post. It's based on what we defined in the better ID editor in your process. Basically, The content type is text.html, so the React Quill editor outputs text.html, and Arweave has the ability to view text out of the box in the web. So it's just a nice way. We can see the transaction in the web as well if needed. Once again, we're going to call this create a type signer, and we're going to fetch the result of this if a message goes through successfully. So hopefully we should see post created successfully in the console if everything goes well. This is one error. It goes, is this level of values level red? Okay. That's because we disabled it on this button. So we're going to do one click. Looks good. And back here, let's create post. It's saying posting. Post result, post created successfully. Nice. Now we need a way to view these posts. So we just want to head back and we're going to create a new file, new pages called view.js. And we're going to go back to main and we're uncommenting this. Just forget I need to define something first. I'm just going to say maybe div. Okay, now for the view file, once again, we're going to be running a dry run. So dry run is good for reads. I'm just going to copy some of the default CSS for the view page. And what are we going to do here? Let's see. We're going to copy some of this thing. And then we put this is some of the default stuff that here. Goes into header. So again, we're going to define some state management. Now, before we set up like the logic for viewing the posts, we're actually going to need a state to store all of these posts. So whenever we want to access them, it's available. Post list. Just what else? Yes, we need a process ID. So just copy the process ID from any one of these processes. If by the way, guys, if you all are following along, use your own process IDs. It's easy. Um, and we're once again going to call the connected use connected. So the reason why we're calling connected, and perhaps you can like design some global context for this, is just you want to make sure at like every step of the process that the user is connected. Otherwise, you don't want them to be doing things. The function you're going to call sync all posts. Okay, so what's happening in sync all posts? Once again, we're using the dry run function. So dry run recapping is just for reading. It does not attach or store any information on air. It's basically just reading stuff. The action that we're going to do is list. So list returns a list of the posts. We're going to console log some of the stuff. Pretty straightforward here. And once again, we're going to add a views effect. So every time we go to the view page or we refresh or some change occurs, anytime some change occurs to connected, it's going to refresh and get us the latest list of posts. We added the logic here. We still have to add some UI for this. So what we're going to do in the UI is pretty straightforward as well. Yeah. So what we're doing here is we're checking if there is something called post list. If post list is undefined, if there is no data received, it will not render anything. If post list is there, we're going to map over it. We're going to create a link out of this. So the link is basically from the list of posts. When we click on one of these posts, we're going to be able to view the entire post. We'll see that shortly. But it's going to print out the heading of the post, the title, the author, and the post ID. So the ID is the transaction ID of the post on Arweave. And one more thing that we're going to add is it's called outlet. So it's this React router DOM thing that lets you do child elements, like, because we're going to click on individual posts, passing them the ID prop, and we're going to like view individual posts. We'll see that, but it's nothing really. It's just one component that you need to pass. But yes, now with this setup, we can head back to the browser and see our posts. So it's going to fetch some stuff, and yeah, you can see we have a new post. Oh, so one thing I forgot to add during like the register step, and perhaps you can do this later on, is let me just create. Yes. So in the register step here, one more tag that you can pass, it's optional. It's called the name tag. So you can type this value as name. You can see here in the vendor ID dev. Yes. So it takes in the author name. So you can pass in your own name. If there is no name provided, it just names you unknown. So that's what happened. That's why you saw my name here come up as unknown. Yeah. And right now it links to nothing. Our title was new post, and this is the transaction ID. So let's quickly add the last element that we're going to need for this application. We're going to create a new file called new post. Sure, new post. And it's so guys, if I'm like rushing through this or copying pasting data, it's just because I don't want to. I want to be mindful of this time, and also give some time to question and answers. But you can do this at your own pace. It's all recorded, and yeah. So I'm just going to copy paste some of the CSS. Again, this is basic stuff, so I'm not going to talk about CSS. Just going to copy this stuff like we always do. Again, like there's a better way of doing these things. Mainly like having repeating components like the header and stuff. You can create some sort of root layout or what you may have. Oh, yeah. That's really important. Cool. So now the last function that we're going to use, and I'm just going to copy a bunch of things here now. See. Um, the first thing is this use params hook from React router bound, and that is giving us the post ID. So quickly, let's head over to main.jsx before we dive into the rest of this thing. We're going to uncomment this and understand what the syntax is here. So what we're doing is our posts, like individual posts, should be visible at the URL view/post ID. And to access that post ID, we have this use params hook. Once again, we have the use connection hook. Here we've defined some use states. So this is fetching is just like an intermediary step, just to let you know the status is the fetching completed and things like that. And this is the post content. So this is where we're going to store the content for each of the posts. So anytime you go to a particular post page, it will run this particular thing. Once again, since it's a read-only operation, we're going to do dry run. We had created a handler called get, so we're going to give it the get action. We're going to give it the post ID, which we fetch from these params, so it knows which post to return. This anchor I didn't mention earlier, it's just one of these necessary parameters. You just have to pass it. Don't worry about it too much. And the last thing is once again a use effect. So anytime you come to this page or something changes, you want the the post to be fetched. So that's why we're using this use effect. Uh, just thinking, oh yeah, because I have nothing here. Yes. So now the UI part of things. What we're going to do here is like, oh, okay. So here we're going to check if there is any post content. So once we fetch all of the posts, we want to make sure there is actually some content there. If there is content, we're going to show the title, the author of the post, the ID. We're going to show a back button. So this is just like nice for navigation. You don't have to keep hitting your nav bar for the view page. You can just click back. And we're going to import React Quill once again. I'll tell you all why. So React Quill has a nice read-only mode. So it's I mean, CSS. So this time we're going to use the bubble theme. So the bubble theme is a very minimalistic theme that's really nice for read-only stuff. And what others? So looks like we're almost done here. I'm gonna go back to the browser. Okay, paste this one. Main. Let's see. Uh, okay, so there we have this list, and we're just going to try to click on it. Let's see what happens. It's fetching some stuff. Maybe have some. But not fetching it. Why is this data? Okay, we're going to quickly debug this. What happened here? Why was this up? Awesome, something wrong. Okay. This is weird. Why this is funny? We have the data. It's just a message from export looking post. Okay. Wait, oh, okay, let's start in. Why is the driver missing? Process identity. What's on this? we head over to the better idea ID. Let's see. If we can see some stuff here. Let's try running this same thing here. Uh, so make sure this is over here. This is ID. Yeah, this is fine. Not sure. Here you can even see we have the body. So it's actually, let's go back to see the maybe just gonna send a message here and you know we'll see if it comes back with a message. Let's find out all of this. Let's call this message. So, oh, for message I mean create sign as data that the actions get the message and let's see what this message result is. And once again, go to fetch this message result. We're going to consider this. So let's press use. Okay, this is interesting. Not sure why this particular message is returning null, but yes, that's like the application. Maybe let's create a new post and see. something that I'm doing incorrectly here. Uh, Stagnant. Okay, like oh shit, it's almost 8:50. That's the application, guys. I'll figure this one out. You can ask questions. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. I'll figure this out, and I will update the protocol and doc that I shared earlier, so you'll know exactly what the code is. But yeah, feel free to drop some questions in the chat, or we can move over to like the chill zone, the co-work zone, and we can chat about these questions.
Hello, folks. I hope you had a good time with the workshop. Thank you, Rohit, for hosting it up and taking a step into building a front end for medium style blog app. Uh, Guys, you can move to the second, the co-work area where we can have all the discussions. You know, you can directly interact with Rohit if you have anything in mind. Post that, like I saw some of the questions were asking that how are these useful for the hacker house that's coming up in July. Well, these are the primary steps that can lead you to the hacker house, as these sessions are, styled or trimmed to make you Arweave ready, AO ready. Okay, you are good to go. You are good to build on RV when it comes to the hacker house, right? And again, the challenges are gonna be out soon, just after the boot camp. So the boot camps are just the plus. So that's that. We can move to the co-work area, and let's have a one-on-one chat. Thank you.